Hi, my name is Ava and I'm a PhD student at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. In the Ensemble Lab, we research therapeutic microbes, which are an emerging class of therapeutics that include live microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. And because these microorganisms are alive, they have benefits over more traditional therapeutics, including the ability to act as stimuli-responsive drug factories, to modulate the composition of the microbiome, as well as interface with the immune system for beneficial effect. But the flip side of this is that because they're alive, they are difficult to deliver, and they must interact with complex environments like the intestinal tract, where they need to contend with clearance mechanisms like peristalsis, mucosal turnover, or even resource competition with native microbes. Now, all of this means is that when we deliver a therapeutic microbe, it often transits through the gut without having a major therapeutic effect on its host because it's rapidly eliminated. You may be wondering how native bacteria, shown here, are able to overcome this challenge. Well, if we take a closer look at one of these microbes, we can see that it's using a surface protein called an adhesin to bind to the intestinal mucosa. Inspired by this, my dissertation research has focused on how we can take therapeutic microbes and modify their surface with targeting ligands that can bind with high affinity to biological targets. Because they mimic the natural bacterial protein, we call these synthetic adhesins. And in order to modify the bacterial surface, we use a simple bioconjugation reaction with primary amines on the bacteria and our targeting ligand or synthetic adhesin. And the good news is that this is a highly modular reaction, which means that we can swap out both our targeting ligand as well as our therapeutic microbe to target new disease sites and have different therapeutic effects on the host. Once we have a targeted microbe, it can now interface with its target, like the intestinal mucosa, and that allows it to form a niche and proliferate within the intestinal tract and have a therapeutic effect on its host, where it otherwise would have been eliminated. Now, what does this mean when we actually deliver them to the intestinal tracts of mice? Well, if we compare a control bacteria with a mucus-targeted group, we can see that at early time points, our control takes a bit of time to stably colonize in the gut. And in comparison, our mucus-targeted group colonizes at high rates and at early time points, which leads to a significant improvement in its pharmacokinetics. And because this reaction is so modular, who knows where we will take it next? We could go to the oral cavity, or the skin, or even the reproductive tract, simply by changing our therapeutic microbe or its targeting ligand. With that, I'd like to say thank you to our funding sources, BioRender, and the CRS community, as well as everyone in the Ensemble Lab that has made sticky microbes a reality.